Your Google Drive account is a hot mess, but it doesn't have to be. Check out these 5 tips for organizing the chaos of Google Drive. Hi, my name is John Sowash. I help teachers and students use Google products in the classroom. A few times every year, I set aside an hour to reorganize and clean up my Google Drive account. Now, the first thing that I do is to search for untitled. I can look at all my files, and switching to grid view lets me visually browse the files to see if I need them or if it's time to get rid of them. Anything that I delete now, I don't have to organize later. Now, tip number 2 is to make sure you are organizing your files into folders. I realize it sounds very basic. You should have a folder for all of your key responsibilities, the classes you teach, the projects you're assigned to, the hobbies that you have. Creating subfolders is a good idea as well. Now, I have 2 bonus folder tips to share with you while you're creating your folders. First, you can change the color of your folders to make them easier to find. You can even apply your favorite color to multiple folders at the same time. This makes it possible to color code your folders. Sometimes a folder that you need to access is buried way down at the bottom of your folder tree. You can add an emoji character to push that folder to the top of the list and add some flair to Google Drive. Now, I use the Emoji One Chrome extension to access emoji from my laptop. There's lots of other options as well. As you can see from my account, adding colored folders and emoji adds some fun and flair to Google Drive. One more quick tip related to folders. I recommend that you create a folder called Junk Drawer or Archive to hold all the random things that you don't know what to do with, but you can't get rid of. My archive folder goes all the way back to 2016. Now that we have some folders, we need to talk about your homeless files. If a file isn't in a folder, it is homeless. If you click on My Drive, you can view your poor homeless files. Why don't you take 10 minutes, browse through those homeless files. A lot of them you can probably delete. And if you need to, you can give them a home by dragging them into one of your folders. If you aren't sure, drop them into your junk drawer folder. Now that we've conquered our homeless files, it's time to tackle shared with me. It's bad enough that you have to organize your files, but you also have to organize everybody else's stuff as well. This is particularly annoying for teachers who have hundreds of student assignments that are shared with them on a daily basis through tools like Google Classroom or Canvas. Now, Shared With Me is not like your email inbox. You don't have to look through Shared With Me every day to make sure you aren't missing something. It's the responsibility of the person who's sharing a file with you to communicate what is expected and what you need to do with that file. You can think of Shared With Me like a fast-flowing river of information. Every time you visit, it's a little bit different. Sometimes you're going to see something in the river that you need. When that happens, grab the file, drag it into My Drive, and place it into one of your folders where you can find it more easily in the future. You cannot organize Shared With Me. Instead, move the files that you need to My Drive for easier access. Now, when you do this, you are not making a copy of the file. You're simply creating a shortcut to the original for easier access. What about everything else in Shared With Me? Just leave it. Trying to empty or clean out Shared With Me is a little bit like trying to stop the flow of a river. It's not going to happen. Now, sometimes you have files scattered in several different places. My Drive, Shared Drive, maybe folders, and that's frustrating because you have to constantly move between these locations. There's a solution for that. It's pretty cool. This is a new feature for Google Drive. There's a handy feature called Workspaces that allows you to create a list of files from multiple locations. This is very helpful if you need to access resources that are locked down so that you can't create shortcuts or move the files to a more convenient location. You can create a workspace for projects or tasks that you need to complete on a semi-regular basis, like a monthly expense report or a biannual accreditation project. Even after applying all of these tips, finding the right file in Drive can be challenging. That's why you need to use the powerful search filter available in Google Drive. After entering a keyword, I can filter my results to only show documents or presentations or only files that belong to me. Restricting search results by ownership is a really helpful trick for teachers who are overwhelmed with vast quantities of students' work filling up Google Drive. There's an easy little trick that I do to make the search even better. I developed my own little code for helping me identify templates and making sure that I'm using the most recent version of a file. Each of my master presentations includes a date at the end of the file name. This is the date that I last updated the file. It helps me know when the file is likely out of date and needs to be updated. I have other files that I copy on a regular basis. To find the original, I add template to the file name so that I can search for it and pull up all of my template files. Develop your own code to make it easier to find the right file through the Google Drive search. If you're a teacher who's using Google Drive in the classroom, I have some bonus tips for you. Make sure you check out this video on the correct way to return student work so they don't clutter up your Drive account. And if you like my tip on changing your folder colors in Drive, you'll definitely love this video with 4 more ways you can organize your digital life using color.